Rambo 3 has John Rambo needing to save his commander from the first two movies from some bad guys. So, the positives on the movie are Rambo's mission I thought was actually pretty good. It's one of the more personal missions in the franchise. He needs to save his commander from the first two Rambo movies. So it kind of gives him a kind of personal reason for him to go on this mission. So I kind of liked that. You get to see Rambo do his thing, sneaking around the base, hiding from the bad guys. So that's pretty cool. And the action in basically the third act is actually really good. There's shootings. Rambo flies a helicopter. Rambo fights a guy and then hangs him, and he blows up. And at the end, there's an all-out war between the good guys and bad guys, and it's pretty entertaining. So I think there might be a little bit more action than Rambo First Blood Part 2. And the action in this movie, in Rambo 3, is pretty solid. That's it for positives. On to the negatives. Honestly, I don't really know who the bad guys are. The bad guys aren't really that memorable, just like Part 2. They do some bad things, but it's just them kind of in a war, basically. I really don't know any of the bad guys' names. I don't really know what they're trying to accomplish. I think it's just kind of about a war. It's just a war that they're in. So I kind of feel like the bad guys don't... I feel like the bad guys don't feel like bad guys. I don't really remember specific details about it. I don't know what the bad guys were trying to accomplish or who they were. So they're really not that memorable. The setting is actually kind of boring. It's a desert. It's not really cool to look at, and there's not much you can do in that setting because it's all sand. It's just all sand across the land. There might be some sand hills, but it's not like the jungle where you have trees and bushes and maybe buildings in the trees or something, and cliffs. So it's just not really an interesting setting. And the last negative is I don't think it really gets action-packed until basically the third act, and that's pretty disappointing. What we do get in the action is pretty good. I do enjoy the action. It is a lot of fun. It's just, you're kind of waiting for the last... You kind of have the last 30 to 40 minutes of action, which is fun, but, like, I'd like to have a movie that has action sequences throughout the movie, just like Part 2. So, this is kind of the same as Rambo Part 2. This one, I kind of like a little more, just because I do think it has a little more action, and the action, I think, is a little bit better than Rambo Part 2. So, Rambo 3 is fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's slightly better than Rambo Part 2. So, Rambo 3 is okay. That's my review on Rambo 3. Thanks for watching.